Floor 5, Bubble World, the Air Quadrant. New teammates, infiltration, and quest failed. Hello, crawlers. Welcome to episode 12 of our Dungeon Crawler Carl podcast. We are back after a week hiatus, and we're kicking off book number 4, which is The Gate of the Feral Gods. We're doing chapters 1 through 6, and hopefully you've already read that if you're joining us for this episode, because we're going to do a linear deep dive into discussing what happened through that. We're going to do some analysis. We're going to piss off some people. We're going to piss off some more people. It's going to be a lot of, well, I don't know. We're going to get some facts wrong.
I feel like we can slide by pissing off people this time.
Yeah, no, I mean, people are sticking with us. We seem to be continually growing, and we appreciate you guys being here.
Yeah, lots of great support online. It's been really nice. The comments in the last few episodes have been really nice.
Yeah, everyone was very supportive. I was just joking. We sometimes get little facts wrong, and then people are like, "Come on, man." But before we get into all that, I'm Grant.
I'm John.
And I'm Martin.
And John?
Yeah.
Okay, he's also Rubio. We all call him Rubio.
Yeah.
It's just weird to hear you say John, but
it depends on who I'm around for the week. If I'm by myself, I don't get called Rubio very much. So I really didn't have very much company this last week, so it's just been me in my head and nobody calling me Rubio.
You've reverted to John?
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. Right.
Give me a few more weeks, I'll be a piece of shit.
You got to quell those voices once they start going that far.
No, it's all stair steps up.
So we wrapped up our last book, and it was book 3. It was the Iron Tangle. There was a lot that we had to kind of parse through with the puzzle of it, the complexity as everything kind of crescendoed at the end of that book.
Mm-hmm.
And after trying to cover so many chapters in that last one, we decided that we were going to roll back and do this a little bit tinier, a little bit more bite-sized piecemeal, which is why we're only covering the first 6 chapters. Currently, we anticipate doing this in about 6 sections this book. So we'll have 3 for the first half and then the back half. And I think it'll just make it a little bit more digestible. I found that it was easier listening through this time. Did you guys?
Oh, yeah. Especially not having to deal with train lines and colored fucking cars and
not that it wasn't weird.
Tunnels. Yeah, no, there's weird stuff here.
Yeah.
But it feels a little bit more straightforward so far.
It does. I mean, it's still something to try to get your mind around the structure of how the world is, but not like trains.
No,
I mean, it's easier than that.
It was honestly quite a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Although, chapter 6, it felt like, I feel like we should go a little bit further. But I'm fine with it's just the first 6.
Yeah,
I might feel that way differently.
I guess in a way I was kind of like, oh, this ends on like the failure of a quest, a completion of a quest and a failure of a quest. And I was like, oh, maybe in a way that does kind of like have a little bit of a bookend. But yeah, you do just kind of want to jump right into that next chapter and keep going. So maybe that's a good thing. A little cliffhanger.
What is the reading assignment for the next set of chapters?
The next one is going to be chapters 7 through 12, keeping this 6 chapters per section, 7 through 12. And this one, I think what we're doing today was about, if you're doing the audiobook, which by the way, we cover the audiobook as well. That was about 3.5 hours for today's episode. Next week's, I think, is a little bit closer to 2.5 hours instead of 3.5. So a little shorter.
Okay.
So maybe that'll have us jonesing for more, and we'll be like, okay, we need to expand what we're doing.
I've already read through the whole book.
So do you remember the specific sections? You do like a re-listen?
Yeah, I try to do it a couple of times, but my girlfriend Kayla was also going through this same book, and she was just breezing past the whole thing and asking me questions, and I was like, you know what? I'll just read it too. I'll just go through it and finish this book out, and I'm glad I did. It reminded me of how good this book is.
Yeah, it starts off pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you find yourself having trouble remembering what specifically was in those first 6 chapters?
Yes, that's why I write a lot of notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which we use as our outline. They're better than my notes, which are like bring up this one thing about Carl.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
like, what was that one thing?
I looked at your notes this morning to remind me of stuff, and I was like, well, there's barely anything here.
Yeah, don't look at my notes.
Now what do I do?
My notes are trash. We always use his. There's
notes
so
are-
much more detail.
Yeah, his notes don't even spell words right.
I did want to bring up one thing about our last week's episode before we jump in, or I guess it was 2 weeks ago, but our end episode. We got one comment, which is from Andy over on Spotify. If you guys also listen on Spotify, we're on there. Said, love the pod, but taking the first 10 minutes of the episode to bellyache about the comments from your very small audience is brutal to endure. Which I thought was very funny, and I wrote, haha, fuck off, Andy.
Yeah. But it's great because Andy has just inspired us to do it again about his own comment.
It was true. I was like, oh, we did go off there, but
You said the first 10 minutes.
yeah.
That Andy couldn't just wait through that first 10 minutes. That's too much for
Couldn't do
him.
it.
But, thank you, Andy. I appreciate you. You kept me up at night for 3 days with that comment, and I hope other people realize.
Adding him to your list, rubbing lipstick all around your ankle.
I'm going to listen for 2 hours, but I cannot stand this first 10 minutes. How dare you take that away from me?
He'd rather it be an ad.
Right?
Which, no ads right now. And that's thanks to us being sponsored by you, the listeners. We do patreon.com/hellocrawlers if you want to support us over there. We appreciate all of you who have tuned in. And as a token of our thanks and as a way of safeguarding some of our more spoilery discussions, we do exclusive content over on Patreon. Ruben and I will do a deep dive talking about everything, a deep crawl, about everything from the first 7 books, especially as it pertains to each episode that we discuss alongside Martin here. And yeah, for $5 a month, you guys can join there and help support us, and we appreciate it.
And so far, we've been doing one a week.
Yeah, one
Yep.
a week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump in to Bubble World.
Yeah.
This is weird.
It's weird. I sent you a diagram that I found on Reddit
Yes.
that was very helpful to visualize the inside of the bubble that
Is this
they're in.
In the book itself?
No, that's somebody on Reddit, I believe, that made that.
Oh, I wasn't sure. But I'm going to put a picture up here so that you guys can see it. I'll even put it side by side us. As Rubio, you can describe what the bubble worlds are.
Yeah, it's so there, I forget how many there are, but imagine a sheet of bubble wrap, and inside each bubble is a little biome, essentially, of 4 different quadrants.
You wrote it down. 1,172 of these bubbles. It's like a sheet of bubble wrap.
Yeah. So each one has 4 different quadrants: a land, a sea, an air quadrant, and a subterranean quadrant. And what it essentially looks like, if you're looking at it from the top, it looks almost like a bullseye, right? With a water ring on the outside, a land ring, and then in the middle, imagine Devil's Tower in Wyoming, something like that. But the tower, like the top part, the flat part of the tower is kind of concave. And there are a couple of towns in that concavity.
Right.
And then another 2 kilometers up is the roof of this bubble force field, right? And we find out that in the air quadrant, they have to infiltrate the wasteland floating castle, and it's way up. There's like 2 kilometers up.
Yeah, that was a thing where it's okay, you got to go to, take down the sky castle. Sure. Now, how hard can it be? We've done that. It's like, well, it's way up there.
Yeah,
like way, way up there.
It's like airplane height.
Yeah. And that is such okay, I give up. I don't know how we're going to do that.
It's so funny. Yeah, like us, the reader, we've gone through 3 of these books now, and we're already starting to think of like, well, what crazy ways could they try to get themselves up there? Shoot themselves out of a cannon or slingshot themselves? Or I like when they start talking about Katya trying to transform into like a dragon. Like, what can they do in order to fly up there?
That
and like,
was actually kind of fun thinking about that. But it was one of those things when they started talking about it. I was like, well, just because of physics, dragons wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're cool in fantasy and watching them on TV, but the aerodynamics of a dragon do not work at all.
But I do like the idea that we found out what would make you just give up and lay down on the floor in a fetal position.
Yeah.
Is seeing the castle way up there.
Yeah, up there like that. I was like, there's nowhere to do.
How about?
I mean, I'm wondering, with Carl's mechanical skill, if they're going to just chitty bang bang that whole thing, make a flying car.
How cool would a flying car be?
I just watched a Fantastic Four movie. Very cool.
Yeah.
They're all in this predicament where a bunch of crawlers have been dispersed to these four quadrants, the air, land, sea, and dungeon quadrants, so to speak. And each of these teams are now working collectively, even though there's no way for like all of them to communicate with each other. They have to each bring down their own little capture the flag castle. And then once they do that, they can all collaboratively enter a stairwell, I guess, to the 6th floor.
Yeah, they like each of the quadrants has a castle that needs to be conquered, essentially, or taken. And then once all of the castles in a bubble are taken, then the stairwell is open to the next floor. If one quadrant isn't taken, then none of the stairwells work.
I mean, this seems insurmountable.
Yes, because they said, you can help the other crawlers, but
only after you finish getting your castle.
Yeah, after you finish getting your castle. But I thought it was but you can't enter until they take theirs. I guess they can't enter the stairwell.
Right, the stairwell.
Okay, so.
But it's nuts because like there's something about survival on your own, but it's kind of unfair if you get stuck with a bunch of jabronis in your bubble who aren't gonna be able to do their work.
Yeah. It's you're in school and you've been assigned group projects, and everybody knows in group projects only one or two people do all the work.
Yeah.
A couple people do a little bit of work.
The rest of us are a bunch of Louis Ferrazes that just coast.
And it seems like the showrunners separated everybody out into having like one competent group or two competent crawlers, and everybody else is like lower level, kind of dumb.
Scrubs.
Yeah, scrubs.
Which it begs the question, how have they survived so long in the first place?
Yeah. Well, we find out about our scrubs and how they've survived.
Yeah.
So we are just dropped in this desert planet. It's like Dune. They're like going across this sandstorm, and they go to a camel town called Hump Town, which they're thinking, it's because of camels having humps. And it's like, also because it's like a big brothel town where they're humping all over the place.
Well, first they're like, Hump Town, ew, that sounds really gross. I don't know. And then they notice it's camels. They're like, that's why it's called Hump Towns. And then the camel's like, no, it's because we're a brothel town.
Everyone's humping. Yeah. Back to it.
Just so we don't get a bunch of comments, it's dromedaries who only have one hump.
Yeah, dromedarians.
Yeah.
There's the dromedarians and then there's the Bactrians, the two different types of camels in this world. The dromedarians are one-humped. The Bactrians are two-humped. I think it's called Bactrians.
But getting to this, I was like, there's a whole lot of prostitutes in these books. Like, why does this keep coming up?
Maybe in the galaxy, that's just a lot more accepted and just common. It's just prostitution's, a part of the capitalist market.
Mm-hmm.
And they have shapeshifter prostitutes.
Those would be the best.
We they would.
I mean, even if you weren't going to go to a prostitute, you say, but I can shapeshift into anybody you want.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I got to try that.
Which we find out Louis is like all aboard on that. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I get it. But we also learn about, just piggybacking off of that there's like this interesting, there's all these different types of shapeshifters. There are changelings, there's doppelgangers like Katya.
There's illusionists and mimics.
Yeah, there's other types, and there's like bad blood between certain ones of them, if not all of them, because they all feel the other one's like duplicitous in a way, but it seems like they're all duplicitous in a way.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of charlatans because you're changing shape. You're becoming something else. It's just funny that they would hold that prejudice against the others when, it's like, you're kind of doing something similar.
It's funny, except that this kind of thing happens all the time with
Very
everything.
Yeah, like, that tracks. So once they get there, they are able to reunite with Mordecai, and Donut. Donut once again has to choose her new floor class.
Mm-hmm.
She gets the glass cannon class, which increases her training speed on all spells and reduces the cost of casting. It's also supposed to give her a plus 15 to Constitution, but when she chooses a class on every floor, she doesn't get every benefit of that class. And unfortunately, that was the one benefit that A, made her pick that class, and B, that she didn't get.
And yeah, the one they specifically said, you got to build up your Constitution.
And especially now that she's no longer in the football hooligan class,
Mm-hmm.
because that one gave her 10 extra Constitution points that are now gone.
Right.
So she's down 10 Constitution points.
So all the more relevant that she's a glass cannon because
Mhm.
she's very fragile. Yeah, I that's like the underlying anxiety that I think Carl faces is just like he's pretty tough. Katya's a tank, but anything like, tripping incorrectly and Donut could just like break.
Yeah, and it's difficult because she is really strong and she could do a lot of physical damage as a melee combatant, but she's so fragile.
Yeah,
that it
she's gotta
isn't-
be ranged all the time.
Yeah, it isn't worth putting her into harm's way.
Plus, she really enjoyed riding Mongo into battle.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked cool.
It looked damn cool.
But yeah, she's been told.
Kinda ridiculous. Cool.
yeah, ridiculous cool. But now she's been told you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, we're gauging it on as cool as a torty Persian cat riding a pink and purple feathered velociraptor would look.
Yeah, it's one of those things where whenever you try to pitch this book to someone new,
It doesn't work.
yeah, you try and like sell these things that they're like, that sounds stupid and ridiculous. And then once you've read the books and you're like fully invested, you're like, man, that's so fucking cool. Just riding on that raptor. But I can't tell a normie off the street about this.
Yeah, just fucking wait. Just wait.
They won't get it.
There's more to come. You think that there was wild, insane, undescribable stuff in the first couple books? Hey, strap in.
It can get weirder.
It does get weird.
Yeah. They open all their prize boxes, all of their awards and stuff. And Carl gets a new toe ring. He gets like a legendary box.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets this toe ring, which because he got stepped on by Grohl, and then he like later realizes that's why like the whole dungeon on floor 4 shuddered. It's because he got stepped on and crushed.
Yeah. Yeah. What the AI was having an orgasm. watching
Yeah,
that,
just loving it.
Imagine if his foot was a shapeshifter.
Oh,
How good a fetish it would be.
do you think his feet could get any sexier than they already are?
Probably.
Aren't they maxed out on sexiness for the AI?
Well, I remember that the AI did try steering him toward a Bigfoot class
That's right.
Make it bigger.
or Bigfoot race, I guess. Yeah. Or Sasquatch, I think it was. Yeah.
Mhm. So this toe ring that he got allows him to have a sticky feet benefit as well as a super spreader benefit. And the toe ring also came with this like interesting anecdote about it was like another one of these legends of this this hero in another human world from way back when, who they all had this kind of infection that was dangerous to this alien race, and he climbed up this tower to where the alien race was hiding and infected all of them before dying. And so he was kind of this legend. And I like that story. Like, it's interesting seeing all these stories that the AI keeps relaying, because I feel like there is very much this ongoing story that the AI wants to relay to the humans about the underdog challenging authority and these little acts of heroism kind of building into something. I think that it matters that we keep getting a lot of these the swine pigs are the aristocracy, and there's these underdogs, and how did they rise up and fight against the power structure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the AI, it you get the feeling that it's very much in the stick it to the man, um that's what it's going for, and it is helping our heroes, even
Yeah.
though it's an asshole to him too. Like as much as as I like you're supposed to don't care for Prince Stalwart, I often hate the AI more.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AI's an edgelord, right? And he's just kind of insufferable brat. But at times, oh man, we're gonna get to a part later in this section where it feels like he has like a straight up existential crisis as he's talking about something, and I just keep thinking it's so fascinating how the AI is fluctuating and reckoning with its power, its understanding of how it's being controlled, I guess, by Borant, by the syndicate, by all these powers that be, and it enjoys the act of killing people and wielding this power. But I think it also grapples with it. I think it is at times unsure and is questioning it.
Or that's just how it manipulates people.
It could be. It
Yeah,
could be all
yeah.
evil, and maybe I'm trying to humanize it in a way.
It sounds like maybe you are. Like maybe it's more of it's grappling with how it's being controlled, but not what it's doing.
We call people like Grant useful idiots.
Look, I think Walter White's about to turn around and be a good guy any second now. He's going to have a change of heart. I can see it. I'm still rooting for him.
But anyway, we find out through the story that there's a city hall in the middle of one of two towns. It's on top of this air quadrant area, right? And that concave part of that tower. And that apparently the Gnome Fortress, which is way, way up there, as we mentioned, every so often bombs the cities, right? And it hasn't for a while, and we gather that there might be some kind of collateral set up by the between the gnomes and the people, on the ground.
Right.
That as long as that collateral is intact within City Hall, they're not going to get bombed.
Right.
And there's a quest that they get called Stay Out of City Hall. And the description is find out what's in City Hall.
So eventually we'll go there. In fact, we get that through that quest at the end of chapter 6.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, they gotta kind of explore the area. And what I like about this chapter is, we came off of book 3 where Carl is recognizing that with his being in the top 10, with his being a skilled crawler who has a lot of advantages, he's using that to start helping other crawlers who were stranded at the train stations.
Mm-hmm.
And he's starting to recognize that it's not enough just saving himself and Donut. He wants to work to try and help others. And in these first 6 chapters, we now see that there's even more of a push to quickly establish and make connection with other crawlers that are in his bubble, because even more so, they all have to work together.
Yeah.
So that's when they kind of have to set about trying to reach out and find those other crawlers. And they even see, I think they see Louis and Faraz early on across the street from them.
Mm-hmm.
And they Louis and Faraz recognize Carl and they go, oh shit, and they run inside to hide in a bar because they're afraid of him, kind of like we've seen Hekla's crew and other people. There's this narrative of Carl's scary, he drives people away and they hide from him, but he has to reach out and go connect with those guys. I do want to go ahead and jump into Louis and Faraz and how they connect with them. What do you make of these two characters, Martin?
Well, it's you know what? I'm like, how are you guys still here? But the other is, it's kind of fun having such incompetent dopes on there, and just for contrast.
Mm-hmm.
And they're I mean, they're idiots.
Yeah, they're
And-
obnoxious.
and they're obnoxious, and they're drunk, and they just don't seem to really fully realize the situation they're in. Or this is how they just have blundered through life all the time.
Yeah, they're kind of the Jar Jar Binks of the series right now.
Yeah.
Is it coping with something that feels bigger than they can handle and they're just kind of tripping uphill?
You know what? That's what I initially thought might be the case.
Well, when they finally got detoxed from their alcohol, Louis, once he realized he can no longer get drunk, he got really sad and said, "That's all I have left." So, yeah, I think this is all part of coping with this desperate situation they're in, this hopeless situation they're in.
I mean, I think that makes sense, that not everyone is going to have the confidence of Donut or the uncanny ability to pivot and adapt to situations that Carl seems to have.
Mm-hmm.
And like Katya is here by luck and chance. It seems that she was able to join in with people who nurtured and encouraged her and made her better, which is what Carl and Donut and Mordecai were all able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So to see that there are other people that are kind of like these regular average Joe people that got caught up in a situation, and he lucked out with a legendary skill.
Right.
Yeah.
And that legendary skill has allowed him through the first 4 floors to evade danger and make it to the subsequent floors. That luck has seemingly run out at this point, and now he needs to kind of take action. Except that maybe it didn't run out, because now he ran into Carl and Donut, who are gonna be the ones who can actually make them both better.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I was saying him because I think it's Louis' ability, right? That does this smoke bomb thing or whatever.
They were both working in concert. Yeah, they were fleeing every encounter they had, because Louis has got this exhaust. What is it called? Cloud of exhaust spell,
Right?
which makes everybody who inhales the exhaust go unconscious. And then Faraz has a level 10, I think, puddle jumper, level 12 puddle jumper spell, which is much higher than Donut's level 6 or 7 puddle jumper. So they can use those two things and have been relying on those two spells pretty much by themselves to get away from all their encounters. So they're really low level. Their spells are really high level because they've trained them up nonstop. But it also means that their luck's going to run out pretty soon.
Yeah. The description of these guys, I remember reading through this whole book, and I had it in my head that the description of Louis in particular was that he was you guys see Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
Yeah, of course.
You know, the big dumb dude, blonde dude in the chicken suit?
Yeah.
I always imagined that as him. But then once I reread the description now, it's essentially Rubio bald.
Yeah. and 27 years old.
Rubio, look at that camera real quick. Yeah, there we go. There's Louis.
I'm pretty much Louis.
I put a bald cap on you.
But again, I'm 50, and he'd be almost half my age.
Yeah, but he's also described as being from Florida, from Miami, and there's this. Man, I just got done watching The Good Place again.
Place, yeah.
I'm like Jason Mendoza. It's like this lovable idiot.
Right.
Then I'm like, Florida. You guys aren't beating the stereotypes.
That's the funny thing. Before you even wrote in your notes, Jason Mendoza, that's exactly what I was thinking of with those two.
Yeah.
There's two guys like that, and they're just chuckleheads, and they've somehow wandered through life. And I suppose, there is coping. But here's the other thing. Just from a fiction structure, we have our main characters, now with Katya, Carl Donut and Mordecai, and we're watching them go through every adventure. And if we don't add some cannon fodder, one of them are going to die. So these two guys are here.
They're red shirts.
They're red shirts.
That's what you immediately go, oh, these guys are dead.
I mean, they might not because, Matt Denneman keeps switching things up. But I was like, as these kind of stories go, these guys are red shirts.
And to be fair, Katya was kind of the red shirt.
Oh, she was.
But the shirt never went on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, once we got to the Hecla showdown, and it's like, okay, she's a full member of this team now.
I went back and listened to that again after we covered that.
Yeah.
I just had to go through that whole section again.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
A couple of things that we didn't mention is, one, Mordecai is a skyfowl on this floor.
Mhm.
Oh, right.
And he's not the kind of skyfowl he is. He's a different type of skyfowl. I think he said that he's normally a centurion skyfowl or something like that, but this is a different type of skyfowl. But it's similar enough that he feels at home in his body. And actually, what's really cool about the way he speaks, like his tone of voice that Jeff Hayes gives him on this, he is a very clear, confident way of speaking. You could still tell it's the same character.
Yeah.
But he sounds clear and focused and like fucking no nonsense on this floor.
Is that you? Like, the real you? This isn't what I really looked like. They made me a rock edge skyfowl. I was a centurion. Darker feathers, larger wingspan, bigger talons. Much more handsome.
Right. He's not drunk. He doesn't have the toad burps.
Yeah.
Or that thick country western twang that he had.
Is it a little twang? Just a
little bit.
Yeah.
Little bit. Enough to let you know it's still him.
Mm-hmm.
But not like when he was the demon and you're like, where are you from, Laredo?
He also seems to be like swooping around. There's a part where he like swoops down on Faraz. And it's like, and Louis to be like, shut the fuck up, guys, because they were drunk. And he seems like just more competent in his body.
Mm-hmm.
He's like quick to pivot to like make potions in certain scenes. And yeah, he just like, it feels like he's in himself.
He is a little pissed off though, because they made him a Skyfall cleric, and the clerics have their wings clipped, so he can't really fly as long distance as he's used to.
Right.
He can only do like short glides, I guess.
Why would you clip your wings? Why would eunuchs exist? Why would these things exist?
So many questions across time.
Yeah. Eunuchs have a whole different purpose.
Well, I think they compare it. He's like, this is like being a eunuch if you're a human. It's like,
I bet a eunuch would go, no, it's not. You want to trade?
Yeah, let's trade. Cut my fingers off.
But clearly, clipping his wings is because we can't have you just fly up to the sky castle.
Yeah.
The other thing that I wanted to go through is a couple of boxes, a couple of what do you call it?
Their loot.
Rewards loot, yeah. So Donut gets the spell book of the floor. She's been getting that every floor. And this time she gets Astral Paw. And that gives her the ability to manipulate items from a distance. They also...
She could like manifest a paw like Doctor Strange, like manifesting a hand or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, yeah. Carl, we mentioned his toe ring, but he also has this Pana's Tears potion that gives +5 points to any choice of spell or skill, which is...
That was the legendary object, wasn't it? Yeah.
Legendary Deities box. He gets a face tattoo for killing the wall monitors on the last floor, like eradicating that race, which will remove automatic hostility from lizard creatures, but will increase their damage against them. And he gets some surefire crafting items, which can turn projectiles into guided projectiles.
That one I thought was really cool.
That is cool.
I'm like, in his hands? Oh, now you can like really target individual people? Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And
also, it seemed like you can like specify even more, like, anyone with blue hair or something like that, he'll target.
Yeah, anybody who uses mayonnaise on pizza, I think was one of them, or something like that. Mayonnaise on hot dogs, that's right. Donut one of the things she gets makes everybody kind of freak out a little bit. She gets a bunch of scrolls of water breathing.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. That's so foreshadowing
Katya,
right there.
Katya also gets a bunch of those and some antidote potions, and she gets her catcher skill raised, and the catcher skill means that she can automatically jump in front of somebody else's attack and take it. It's part of her being a tank.
What? I missed that part. That's awesome.
Oh, is that setting up a noble sacrifice later on?
Ooh, who knows?
Every time you guys say, ooh, who knows? The answer is yes.
No, it's not. Not always.
Not always.
Yeah.
We try to consistently go, ooh, who knows?
Yeah. Every time you guys do that and I'm here and then it comes up later, I'm like, okay.
Is it our fault that you're a really good guesser on things?
We also meet this kid, Skarn, this changeling orphan child, when Carl goes to use he goes over to this house because it's got a big telescope mounted on the top, and he wants to just get a look at that floating castle, this wasteland castle from the gnomes. And Skarn is a changeling, and his parents were victims of the gnome bombings.
It's such a weird ass book.
I know, it's so weird.
Just like all of what you just described there. It's so weird.
And yeah, he sees this castle. It's about 300 meters wide. He says it looks almost like it's as wide as an aircraft carrier. And it looks like a floating junkyard, and it's suspended by all these balloons. And the balloons are protected by magical shields, so there's no bringing it down that way. There are trebuchets and ballistas dotting the exterior. There are ropes and chains dangling from it, and there are some suspended huts attached to those ropes and chains, and then flying machines attached to the sides of these structures, and some of them have bombs on them.
Shield helicarrier with like the house from Up on top of it.
Oh,
With
okay.
like a house with balloons.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking literally from the movie Castle in the Sky, but yeah, okay.
You're okay. We can go to that. It's probably better.
And Carl learns from Skarn that there's something in the town hall that prevents the gnomes from wanting to bomb the town.
Right,
and,
the collateral that you were talking about.
Yeah, and nobody knows what it is, and Skarn doesn't know what it is, but Skarn does know that it eats mushrooms.
Which we eventually find out what it is. It's another gnome.
Yeah, and also the Bactrian town, the other camel town next to it, also has something in their city, their town hall, that is protecting them as well.
So this makes me wonder, at the beginning of, or at the end of the last book, they have to spin the wheel for like which land they end on. Which terrain, I guess, quadrant, and then they have to spin another wheel for what's going to be their castle within that realm.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the options were there, but I guess within each bubble, this is playing out differently because of like what 4 options you got there. So it's not like every bubble world has these 2 camel worlds and gnomes, right?
Right. Each bubble world has the 4 quadrants, but each of those quadrants are different,
right?
From bubble to bubble.
Because like some described like that they have like a sandy beach land area, and then others described it as like a jungle. And
yeah, and I think where Prepotente and Miriam Dom are, they're in a sky quadrant also, but their sky quadrant is it's like a shelf way up on the bubble that has like a bunch of spiders, a spider's nest that they have to
fuck that.
knock on.
Right?
Like, you guys got cute little gnomes.
Hey, nope. Let's spin the wheel again. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go drink at the toe. Like,
Yeah, Mordecai even said, "But everybody's just as fucked as you are. Like you guys are fucked. Everybody's fucked."
yeah. Again, this seems impossible when like it's like one thing like you got to take that castle, but then everyone has to work in collaboration, and all of that has to work out within your bubbles. I guess we could deduce that there's a lot more competent survivor humans that have now made it to these bubbles just by the fact that they've survived the first 4 floors.
But doesn't it feel like the difficulty from the last floor to this floor has jumped exponentially?
Yeah, in the beginning of the floor, yes.
Yeah. But yeah.
Sorta, except that like it became hell on earth at the end of the last level, and like it was such a weird puzzle that I'm like, you guys only barely figured out a thing right before all the shit went sideways anyway. So like people are gonna die for the most part either way.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
here it seems like they know everything they need to know to complete it. It's just that the details are kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like you're going from this desert and now you're in the air area and you gotta somehow storm this impossible castle, a mile or so up in the air, and then you're like, all right, I don't know how, but we're gonna get that done. And once you're done with that, wait, excuse me, what?
So Carl decides, here's the plan. Step 1, we're going to find all of the other crawlers and get everybody on the same page.
Yeah.
We're going to fist bump everybody, get everybody in our chat, and then, figure it all out. Step 2, we need to find out what they have locked up in City Hall that is protecting this city. And Carl is like, it's probably like the gnome guy's kid or something. And then we might have to do that in the other town also. Just keep that in mind. Let's do this. And that's when they meet Louis and Faraz and find out, oh shit, this is
These guys are dumb.
yeah.
The other interesting thing though about meeting Louis and Faraz is we meet a changeling.
Oh yeah, Juicebox.
Juicebox. Great name. Juicebox the changeling.
Oh yeah, can we talk about, okay, so Juicebox is the name of the changeling. She's a prostitute.
Yeah.
There's also the bar that Mordecai has everybody gather in is called the Toe in the Camel Town.
Yeah.
And Louis thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. And
Camel
yeah, great.
Sorry, I underlined it.
Faraz is so drunk he doesn't understand the joke, and it's just also like on Humptown on the door to get in, the gate is bang twice to enter. Like it's just there's all of these like double entendre innuendo.
Yeah. The 12-year-old write this.
Yeah,
We could create this town. What's going on?
Yeah.
Matt is actually 13 now, so
Yeah, there's also like a monster outside that they eventually encounter called a thorny devil. Like there's a bunch of
I don't know that.
Yeah, I've not heard that one.
like a horny devil.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because there's horny toads. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Juicebox, the changeling prostitute, she not only is she's trying to be Jessica Rabbit at one point, and another point she's trying to be Gadget from Tailspin. Yeah,
Tailspin.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Actually, Rescue Rangers.
Okay, yeah.
Rescue Rangers. So he's like, oh man, I can make her be the Baroness from G.I. Joe. So she's like able to shapeshift through all these, and then we get some more insight from Mordecai that she's a lot more than a standard changeling, which I thought was interesting because he's like, whoa, she's able to rapidly change. A lot of changelings, like they can touch you and then they can change into, your race like that, but they can't just quickly like also customize to that level. And so she's almost doing something that's a little bit more like a changeling mixed with what Katya does, where she's a doppelganger and she can shapeshift like Clayface a little bit of her looks. And he's like, that's really kind of strange, powerful.
It's like a super high level changeling essentially. And furthermore, he suspects that all of the prostitutes in this floor are very high level changelings. And changeling, I think he called them changeling principles, which are a sect or like a cult of changeling that are specifically trying to interact with as many different types of creatures as possible to build their libraries up of things they can change into. Right. So they're really obsessed with going out and finding different
That's cool
creatures
Yeah.
so that they can change into them.
We got this really cool subtle scene where Carl goes and meets the little creepy boy Skarn. who's a changeling.
Little creepy boy. He can't help it. He's an orphan.
Carl himself is like, this kid is fucking creepy. He's this little faceless. It's like the faceless human beings from Community, the mascot there, where it's like wearing what are those called? Zentai suits? Is that right?
I don't know.
Anyway, he like faceless, formless little boy, and the boy reaches up and touches Carl, and then turns into a little human boy. And very briefly, that little human boy is wearing little heart boxers before it changes into like a more traditional outfit for Humptown, I guess. And that made me think, did he turn into like the little boy version of Carl?
I mean, it seemed that way, but it also seemed like if he did that, Carl would have immediately commented
Would
on
he
that.
recognize it? Or Carl doesn't know what he looked like when he was a kid. I look at pictures of me as a kid and I go, oh, is that what I looked like?
Mom, I didn't know you had malformed chickens when you were a child.
Baby, that's you.
Ma, where did you
That's my
find
beautiful malformed chicken baby.
where did you find that obviously deformed possum?
Oh, I was an ugly baby. I was so ugly. Anyway, I don't know. Like it just seemed like maybe he turned into like a little kid version of Carl, and I thought,
Yeah.
oh, that's interesting,
Yeah.
especially with the little boxers appearing there. Yeah, Juicebox seems she seems like one of those like important NPCs, kind of like Growler Gary by that description, just because of like, oh, when Mordecai's like commenting, that's a little bit above and beyond, kind of like Growler Gary. He can't die. There's something a little bit more asterisks about that kind of NPC.
That make you nervous?
It makes me intrigued.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just that whole thing, like, she's a lot more powerful than you think she is.
Like a threat kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like right now she's like white dot, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if all of them are like downplaying their power set, it makes you nervous. Like, what are you saving this for?
Right.
that also kind of that makes me want to comment on this other element. Like they break into City Hall
Mm-hmm.
and they find that the secret, like there's supposed to be the camels, the dromedarians, running City Hall, but when they invade one of the rooms and like knock out some people, they find that after the knockout gas hits them, they turn back into changelings.
Yeah.
So there's some subterfuge going on within the city between the changelings, which I guess narratively in this world, I don't know how much of this plot we go into in the first 6 chapters, but it seems like they saved the camels saved the changelings when the changelings were attacked by gnomes, and they took them in as refugees. But now these refugee changelings are secretly infiltrating and taking over the power structure of the camel dromedarians within this town of Humptown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to make of that because I don't remember the rest of this book.
Right.
So now I'm actually speaking from, I don't know what else to make of that.
Yeah, he's supposing that that's what's happening based on what we're reading right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a very much a Hail Hydra kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it puts a new wrench into the whole semi straightforward plot of this
Mm-hmm.
floor so far. It feels like there's a lot more in there that we still don't know anything about.
I mean, yeah, and it definitely lends credence to your idea that like Juicebox should be viewed as a little bit as a threat now too.
Or all the prostitutes.
All of them. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
the changelings,
Yeah,
Yeah.
even that little creepy kid.
especially the creepy kid.
Like there's gonna be some point when they go, okay, now, and they all enact their plan.
Yeah. But don't worry, Carl's already got a plan for that. Carl's always got a plan.
Something else that we learn in here is that the day and night cycles are interesting.
Oh my gosh. The math of that, I was like, no, I'm
There-
not mapping that.
There are 2 suns. Days are 24 hours long, but it's only dark for 2 hours because they're 2 suns. Storms come every day 4 hours before the sunset and last for about 2 hours. The second sun is up for 8 hours and it gets really, really hot at that time. And their last 3 days on the floor will be mostly dark. And the storms will last twice as long. And they currently have 12 hours before it gets super hot when the suns kind of converge. And there's 18 hours to the next sandstorm. I just need to lay that out because otherwise somebody's going to say, why didn't you talk about the day and night cycles?
No, I think the relevance of that is that tells me that strategically there's going to be a window of time for certain events to happen. Again, man, I guess it's good. I don't remember. I'm kind of in your mode of like, I don't know what happens here, but that just tells me like that there's a relevance to a time structure of sandstorms or when the sun's out and things are too hot and melting things, or they operate in the dark. I don't know.
Yeah, I honestly forgot that detail.
Yeah, but if I don't find that Matt Dinniman wastes too much time with these like extraneous world building details. He's not George R. R. Martin in that way.
Yeah.
If he's kind of taking the time to underscore a plot point like that, it generally has relevance to the plot. So that's good that I guess that you brought that up.
There was also they met up with another group of 6 crawlers, and they're all archers. Led by one dude named Langley, and apparently they all worked at a car lots. They were working at car lots that were next to each other. Yeah, and they were all having lunch together when the collapse happened. And when it came down to choose race, they all picked human, and class, they all picked archer.
It's so funny. I mean, also red shirts. Like, we don't even know their names, except for Langley. So yeah, but it's the idea that you wouldn't have a game guide kind of steer you to, when you play D&D, when you play any of these kind of RPG games, you want to have a range of people that all can lend different talents to help you. Mm-hmm. You don't all choose the same race and class,
right?
Because then, like, there's not much depth to your field.
We need to balance the team out.
Yeah.
Let's not go all archers.
We can't have 3 Grants around here all talking about this book. It's gonna be awful.
No, we'd have one listener or one viewer of the show, and it would be Grant himself.
Yeah. Even my mom would be like, "Nah." I wish that kid was back when he was a little possum.
Yeah, there was a reason they stopped having kids at you. You're the youngest, right?
I am.
Yeah,
that's fair.
You stopped.
You nailed it. You got me good.
Yeah, like they went, ew, see, I told you. That's it.
A couple of other things that happen is that they go out into the desert and they see there's this biplane that drops from the wasteland fortress.
Indiana Jones and like
it was a really cool scene.
Yeah,
Last Crusade.
A lot of action and stuff, and then like this biplane is dropping bombs that don't explode.
Yeah, they're duds.
Well, we find out that the bombs on the inside, there were living creatures in there. There were like bosses in there, and one of them is like they died. They died in the fall, and one of them was a level 45 feral goose.
Which I think this is the first instance of us seeing the word feral introduced here, because the book title is Gate of the Feral Gods. So there's a feral goose, and Mordecai's like, oh, anything feral is bad business.
Yeah, you stay away from that shit. But this boss was just splattered on the inside of this bomb.
Yeah, it's a dead goose.
Because it got dropped from real high up.
And Carl adds it to his inventory. He's got all these corpses in his inventory.
Yeah.
Gross.
And while they're out there, Carl decides, hey, this is really scary. Like they also fought like this big lizard thing, and we need to move across this desert more quickly. And
it's like 3 miles.
Yeah, so he comes up with this idea of building a dune buggy, and maybe have an anti-aircraft system on it because there's planes and stuff. But he wants to build a dune buggy, and they end up doing that.
How long would it take you to run 3 miles? Or you?
Well, if I started right now, I could probably be done tomorrow at some point.
Right? And then do that over sand?
Yeah.
Insane. Like I get that they're like superhuman, they're faster, but even across sand and up and down dunes, like you think a 3 mile straight shot isn't a straight shot. You're going up and down these dunes, and it's in sand. You can't move that quick. Like that just seems like such a long, hellish journey.
And if you're asking me how long it would take me to run over 3 miles, It depends on whether or not you mean run as in flow over like liquid.
I meant how quickly would you die in that?
Because if it's a long slope that I start at the top of and just slither down, it might take 4 or 5 hours, but it'll get done.
Yeah. Give me a sled. Oh, there's an up? Never mind.
Yeah,
right. Just lay down and just roll it the whole way.
You had me at down.
Yeah. Let's move past the desert. They fought that stuff. They realized, nah, we're gonna go back. Katya has this gift where she learned a human skill, which is like all about like an understanding of engines.
Yeah.
So she can like trigger this skill and just like make an engine. They make a dune buggy, which she gets credit for, kind of like Carl's bombs that he made in the first book.
Mm-hmm.
And so she gets credit like, oh, like this is a new item that hasn't existed before in the world. This dune buggy thing.
Yeah, this is one of her hobby potion skills. She got that. Carl got Cesta Punta.
Yeah.
And then donuts, they still don't know what it is. Scuttlifly.
Oh, you wrote it down? Or you just remember Scuttlifly?
I remember Scuttlifly, the word.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, I don't remember this book, so whatever. There is a part where, as an aside, Katya is musing on the idea of if aliens in the rest of the galaxy have this ability, they can all just like Matrix style download any skill set they need into their bodies and do it. How does that work? How does that function in the rest of the galaxy? And Carl's like, I don't know. I mean, it's probably like the rich people have that and the poor people don't. But yeah, it's crazy. But it feels almost like Carl's a little bit dismissive. Like, we gotta focus on our own shit now. Who gives a shit?
It did feel like that.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, because she brings that up, and I was like, this is actually worth discussing. And he's like, it's probably really expensive. Anyway, back to what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
My theory is that that's the AI. I don't think that the rest can do that, or else like can't I don't know. That seems like the maestro should be a lot more competent than he is if that's the case. Like we see a maestro who's like a power player and he's also a dumb idiot who can't do certain things. You would think he'd be a lot more competent. So I don't think they can just download skills even with their wealth.
Maybe he's only as good as he is. Like Maestro is only as competent as he is with a ton of those upgrades.
Oh, they're all leveled up and this is the best they can do.
This is the best he can do.
Whereas like, man, we talked about this before, I think, maybe in a deep crawl, this idea like maybe humans are just like even like our humans are even more special exceptions.
I don't know. Maybe that's just you inserting yourself into a hero role.
My mom says I'm special. I'm a special little possum.
So they go outside and they test this
dune buggy,
and it works really well. And then at some point they see some flares going up from the like their town. They shoot some flares up, and then the Bactrian town shoots some flares up, and then a bunch of bombs fall from the Wasteland Fortress onto the Bactrian city, and they level it.
Yeah, we get revealed, I guess, that they probably lost their collateral, and so the gnomes were free to just destroy the town, and they did. I guess the lingering question there is, sad for the NPCs. I'm sure Carl's mourning their loss. But for the rest of us, I guess the question is like, are there other crawlers there that were able to like hide out in a safe space in the meantime?
Yeah, we find out that these safe rooms are only safe rooms when there are crawlers in it. So if there are NPCs in rooms with crawlers, then they would probably survive the attack because it'd be safe. But otherwise, maybe not.
Carl makes some reference to Mordecai during this, like the discussion of like the idea of the safe rooms, where he was like saying, what about that other thing with the primary and secondary zones? Is that a safe zone for crawlers? And Mordecai's kind of like, shut up about that. And I still don't know what that is in reference to what he was talking about.
They were talking about, I think there was in some of the green rooms or in studios where they were like doing shows.
Oh, primary and secondary zone, like the waiting room and the main room?
Yeah, like how in certain zones they don't have access to their inventory to their.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I was kind of confused. I was like, what is he referring to? And I don't remember.
Mhm.
But
Like security zones.
okay, cool. Well, that is, I guess, something to stay tuned to.
But we do at this point get to see the recap.
Yes.
After all the bombings happen, they're not sure why things got bombed, but they have suspicions. They go back to their personal space to see a recap. Or is it their personal space or somewhere? So they go somewhere and see the recap.
Yeah, and this is where we see, first off, we see Prepotente, and this is where we kind of get revealed a little bit more of like how his abilities work.
Yeah, this
that was cool.
Yeah, it starts out with a recap of the last floor.
Yeah. They're showing like what people did on the last floor to escape. And you know, we kind of get this through the lens of Mordecai informing them of what's so cool about Prepotente and informing us, I guess, the audience, the readers as well, that Prepotente uses a bunch of debuffing, like stacking debuffs, which is a debuff is an impairment. You cast something that makes someone fall asleep, or they grow itchy warts, or whatever kind of debuffs that like hurt another person.
Or you slow their breathing down.
Yeah. So, but he like layers one on top of another, on top of another, on top of another, and he's able to do this because he's able to rapidly deploy a bunch of them because of something in, I guess, his special pet biscuit goat self allows him to do this faster than maybe another crawler would pick this race and class.
Yeah, but even then, he was doing it on a province boss, and it was taking him hours.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's still like something that Mordecai was like, well, shit, that's amazing.
That's
actually.
really freaking smart. And he's close to killing a province boss by himself like this. And here comes Quancy H.
Oh, yeah.
Comes in and screws it all up.
So I guess there are some humans that we're just supposed to hate. I guess Quancy H is that guy.
Sure. And especially in the beginning, you're like, well, he's just a guy. He's not part of their crew. And maybe he's a little obnoxious, but he doesn't know. But every time he appears now, you're like, all right, this guy knows what he's doing. And he's a douche.
He keeps fucking people over.
Yeah.
And so you're like, this guy, it's like once again, another lingering villain that will pop up at some point.
Yeah, we finally also get to see a little bit of the crocodilian.
Oh, yeah.
Florin
and Afechi, the tale of Afechi.
Mm-hmm.
That was sad. It was actually, I thought how this was written, like as a short story within the book, establishing who Afechi was and building the relationship between Afechi and Florin, making you care, and then giving this tragedy to the end of it. That's good short story within a bigger storytelling.
And Lucia Marr walks in, starts like talking to phantoms.
Yeah.
Just like there's something obviously wrong with her. She picks up this young crawler and just throws him at Florin, and Florin is like, what is going on? Like, chill out. We're all on the same team. You crazy or something? Like, I'm not crazy. There's nothing wrong with my head, she says.
Right.
And they just get into a fight. Like, the dogs start attacking, and it just goes insane. And Florin at some point starts shooting at Lucia Marr, and Lucia has a really high-powered spell that nobody knew about, where it's like a damage reflect. And she casts it all on Afechi's head. So every time Florin shoots either Lucia or the dogs, he's shooting his partner, his love partner in the head.
Yeah, that's like I said, it was brutal. It was short, the tale, and I felt it. What do you think of them?
The same thing you guys are saying. It was really sad, especially how quickly it escalated. And I felt foolish from last episode when I said, well, maybe Lucia Marr is getting a bad rap from the editing. And it's like, oh no, she's insane. And she's just one of those characters where you're like, she has to go. Yeah.
Is that kind of what you took from it? Like regardless of how one edits, there's enough of the actions on display there that like, you can't edit around that.
Yeah. I mean, the only, like, like she's become this. Her character's in a position now where it's like there's no redemption for you.
Mm-hmm.
It could be mitigated by she has a brain worm, or
she's a kid.
No.
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 Now, there needs to be something where her actions aren't her fault.
Yes.
For her to be remotely redeemable.
Yeah.
Especially since in this particular scene, one of the just pieces of cruelty is after Florin realizes that Afechi's dead. And, we're watching the recap, right? So everybody in the room watching it is also just breathless by this. And Mordecai is like, he's like, no. We see Florin get credit for Afechi's death. Like, he gets the player killer's skull.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine if he didn't, though? Like, dude, I did all the shooting. I should have at least gotten the bonus.
No, what the fuck?
Oh, no, I mean, that's tragic. That's awful.
No. This is all Lucia Marr's fault.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be easy for Florin to blame himself, but you could say, that's not you. But then it's like, well, the AI, the skull, says that was you.
Yeah.
So it just makes it harder to forgive himself for that. And now you're like, wow, this guy was a top player. This is probably going to devastate him. He might be catatonic. He might not be any good for the rest of the dungeon.
When the recap goes into like, here's where we are now, and then they show like this next floor, and they show everybody appearing in these warehouses with the wheels where they have to spin, and Florin walks into his warehouse room and just like sits in the corner, doesn't spin anything, and he goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that. I saw that Katya is no longer in the top 10, but maybe with Florin just kind of checking out, she can get back up there.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I was curious about her not being in the top 10 anymore, but
You don't like that?
No, why are you like this?
I don't know. It's fiction. Sometimes I can divorce myself from it for a joke, I guess. Katya's no longer in the top 10 though. She lost that and she seems very relieved.
Yes.
She's like, oh good, I didn't want that attention.
Right.
She still is a wallflower in those regards.
Yeah. And Carl's bounty is doubled?
Yeah, like everybody who was in the top 10 when they descended to the next floor, their bounty is double.
Yeah.
Carl's now number 2. He's right behind Lucia Marr. And you got the list there.
Yeah, I mean, I could read it if you want.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Lucia Marr, number 1. Carl, number 2. Number 3 is Prepotente. Number 4 is Donut, and she's really mad about being separated from Carl. Quan CH is number 5. Dimitri and Maxim Popov is number 6. Number 7, Miriam Dom. Number 8, Ellie McGibb. Number 9, Bogdan Rowe, who we don't know anything about. Number 10 is Florin. Yeah.
He's on the precipice, Florin.
Quan CH is the highest level crawler. Like, even though he is number 5 on the top 10, he's level 43, making him the strongest crawler.
Probably because AI is like, that was a bitch kill. I'm not giving you that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you as much points each time.
Well, Quan didn't kill that boss that Prepotente was going off. He just ruined it and then fled.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody killed that boss.
So we kind of touched on what happens next after this, which is that they assemble the team. They get Louis and Faraz and the archers together, and those guys are drunk off their asses. So Mordecai assembles a detox medicine to sober them up, but then also make it so that those guys can't drink or consume any sort of
no drugs. Yeah, no mind-altering substances.
Except maybe blitz sticks. I think they had like maybe one exception.
Yeah, the only thing that there are a few drugs that this rapid detox doesn't work on, and one of them is blitz sticks. I think one of the fun parts of that is that he added another ingredient to it to make the description of the potion they were taking hidden from them.
Yeah.
So that is something that I wish I had in my life for friends of mine who have had problems. Here, drink this. What is it? Just fucking drink it.
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, this is gonna help you.
These guys happen to be...
IPP. Is that say Ipecac? I've never seen that.
What does Ipecac mean?
Enjoy.
Yeah.
They puke up, and I think that it was very telling. Like we talked about at the beginning of this episode, that Lou is like, drinking is like the one thing I still have. Why would you take that from me? I mean, he's obviously hurting and detached, and doesn't know or have the motivation, I guess, to survive in this world. He's just been getting lucky, I guess, in a lot of the situations.
And Donut does remind him, you still have that date with Juicebox coming up.
Hey, buddy, Baroness. Think of the Baroness and G.I. Joe. They get the team together, and once they're all sobered up, then Carl's like, okay, here's our plan. And it's essentially, we're going to infiltrate City Hall. Some of you are going to be on the lookout. Like, he has all the archers kind of up above if they have to shoot at camels that might come attack them from outside City Hall. But it's going to be his main squad. It's going to be him and Donut that go in with Louis and Faraz. And then Katya is going to be shapeshifted into another camel.
No, she's actually disguised as a pipe mounted to the wall.
Wait, wasn't she the camel?
No.
Oh.
What? No, she's a pipe.
I remember her being a inanimate object.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a pipe on a wall, and she's getting like a view. She can get a view of the whole layout, everything around the building, everything on top, and she's giving them updates. Like, here's where the camels are, and here's what's going on.
That makes a lot more sense with like what she's seeing and how she's interacting later.
Yeah.
Okay. She's a pipe.
But it's really hot outside also at this point because the two suns are pretty close to each other. Extremely hot. All the townspeople have kind of moved indoors. So it's a really good time for them to execute on this plan.
There were some parts of this that I guess, trying to navigate what's going on here, maybe I was a little bit confused. But essentially, they go into this one office once they get in the building. And a sequence that I thought was cool was they're trying to use the whole spell to open up a door, and Donut does a whole spell on the door, and Carl has to reach in really quickly and make sure she doesn't shut it off so he doesn't chop off his hand, and reach for the handle, but the handle's not where it should be on one side versus the other.
Yeah,
camel doors.
It's a more complicated lock.
Yeah. And he fails and doesn't have enough time to do it. And she's like, well, why don't we just do this? And she puts it right over where the actual
mechanism
door frame is. So yeah, the bolts aren't there anymore, and they can just swing it open. And he's like, well, fuck, why aren't we doing that the whole time? It's so funny.
But and then they find out because when the hole snaps off, the mechanism is all misaligned, and they can't close the door again.
It kind of cracks and like shatters it so loudly that everyone's alerted and comes running.
Yeah, there's well, actually no. When they did the exhaust cloud, the camels inside fell down and made a big clatter, and that's what made everybody start, running toward the room. And that's so they have Louis and Faraz kind of pushing the door closed, and Carl pulls something big and heavy out of his inventory and puts it against the door to try to, sure up that entrance. And when they look at the camels, they notice, oh shit, those are changelings.
And then there's I guess a secret passage down to some underground chamber where the gnome is.
Yeah, there's a little trap door
that Carl goes down. So there's the idea that the changelings have overtaken key roles, and the changelings were actually the ones using Collateral in this camel city to keep the gnomes from attacking.
It's a good question.
Because they were the ones who, like, once we go down and the gnome is talking to Carl, he's like, oh, what shape are you going to be in this time to try and torture me? It's going to be like, so it's obviously the changelings and not the camels that were the ones going and interrogating this gnome the whole time.
Right.
And I'm not sure what the angle is there because we only did the first 6 chapters.
Right.
But it is interesting.
Yeah, the gnome down there that they've been keeping as Collateral, his name is Win, He's a dirigible gnome flesh mechanic. He's starved. He's sickly. He's very pale. He's calling out to the guy, to Carl, right? He thinks it's Henrik. Henrik was the guy that Katya saw leave the castle in the very beginning, leave the town square. I mean, in the very beginning of their plan getting executed. Who will you pretend to be today? My mother? The last dose hasn't worn off yet. If you feed me more, it might kill me this time. I can only hope. So they've been feeding him like magic mushrooms for something.
Just drugging your prisoner like you do.
Yeah, and the AI or the description says Wynn is a great and favored uncle of Commandant Kane of the Dreadnought Wasteland. He's a flesh mechanic, a healer gifted with the ability to bring the dead back to life, if only temporarily. He's being held as hostage by the Dromedarians as a guarantee of peace. Quest complete, stay out of City Hall. So that completed the quest.
And then they get the new quest to keep him alive and use him to try and get up to the Cloud City or whatever it's called.
Yeah, immediately, new quest, free Wynn from his bondage, free Wynn, and he will provide easy access to the wasteland. Cool. Except for...
it's cool because there's apparently a gate, and this is a halfway point between the subterranean group and our air group.
Yeah, so there's a barrier.
Yeah.
Because Wynn is on the other side of the barrier. He's in the subterranean zone. And this is just an entrance to the subterranean zone that Carl can't get through right now.
Yeah, so how's he going to get him? And at that moment, we get some of the subterranean crawlers coming in. And I like the weird-ass eclectic bunch that pops up.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's someone who comes and has a tarantula body but a normal head, I guess.
Let me just say, there's 5 crawlers. 3 of them are human. The humans are Lothai. He's a D-bag geek.
Okay.
Tyler Storm is another guy who's he's like a weather manipulator.
That sounds like a weatherman.
Yeah, I know. Tyler Storm. Fucking weird. The spider guy, I forget what his name is. Mike Barnes 3 is a banana dude. He's like a banana man. There's a weird banana man. I love that.
Is he in a banana costume or is he like a banana body?
He looks like he's in the banana costume, but he's just a banana guy. On the last floor, there was a mushroom guy.
Was there?
Yeah, he kept on running into this weird mushroom guy in another group. This other group is here on this platform, and there's that weird mushroom guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, there's a weird banana guy. And as they show up, Wynn is like, it's not really a human. He's a changeling named Hendrik. He's trying to cast a spell that would give flesh to Quetzalcoatlus. I have a map to the temple. If you kill me, you can take it. Kill me fast. I just have to say that there was a map on the table when Carl went down into that room that he took. And when he took it, it dissolved. So Carl destroyed the physical map.
But it's in his inventory.
It's in his inventory. So I guess these guys are trying to get a map from Wynn, and Wynn says, hey, if you want the map, you have to kill me, because Wynn wants to die. So he gets those crawlers to kill him, and it ruins Carl's quest to get this guy for a safe and easy passage up to the fortress. And
I gotta say, I love it. I love that he just went in and just killed him. The other crawler, no hesitation. Hey, I know what I need to do. Oh, I gotta kill you and I gotta get the thing. Kill. Killed him. And Carl's like, oh, shit. No.
So yeah, he gets his quest failed. And the guy goes, hey, I just got an achievement for ruining your quest. The banana guy goes, he doesn't have a map. We're screwed.
Oh, man.
I love that the banana guy says something. And Carl keeps referring to him as the banana guy.
So I like that. Carl's like, hey, look, we'll connect. Meet me at the Desperado Club. I will give you the map and I'll fucking kick your ass.
While we're there, I will draw the map out for you or dictate it to you, and I will kick your fucking ass.
But it's great because Carl tried in the beginning of in the first couple chapters to connect with everyone that he already had on his hot list from fist bumping them, and the only person he had was a lady named Gwendolyn, from a previous book. and she's in the land quadrant. She can see the sea quadrant, but she's in the land quadrant, which seems like a desert area. But he didn't know anyone in the subterranean, and he doesn't know anyone in the sea area. So now he has contacts at least.
Yeah.
So he was able to now touch base with them, and now he's building like, okay, we have someone we can at least coordinate with them trying to get their castle, and we're trying to get our castle.
Yeah, he's slowly building a coalition.
Yeah. And it seems necessary.
Hell yeah, for this one. Yes. There's no other way to do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, seeing that, I'm like, okay, that's good that they've established that other very competent people like Banana Guy are there to help with the subterranean area.
I just keep on thinking about that peanut butter jelly time
Yep,
gif
it's 100% that.
from the early fucking aughts.
Yeah.
It's definitely peanut butter jelly time. I guess that concludes our coverage of all of this section, chapters 1 through 6.
Yeah.
We got to the end of the chapter. I guess maybe you're a little disappointed where it ended a little too early.
Well, it felt like so much of this section was set up.
Yeah.
Until we got to the wrap up, there was nothing all that juicy.
Right.
But as setup goes, it's better than the trains.
Yeah, much.
And yeah, just the quest itself is so insurmountable. But I know they're going to do it. It's just me reading about what they have to do. I just immediately felt exhausted.
I really love the possibilities set up by just the terrain, like all the different moving objects, everything that needs to go right has so many possibilities for how it's going to unfold.
Yeah, it's true. And just having them kill Wynn right when Carl's about to complete his quest. That's just a whole like, all right, well then we got to find a whole other way around this.
Yeah.
I know they're going to do it, but it's like, man, this was almost somewhat kind of sort of easy. And
so not only does that mean it's going to be harder for him to get up there, but now the collateral is gone. Like that town's about to get bombed.
Yeah, that too.
What do you think of this world?
What do I think of this world?
Yeah, the bubble world. Like, we came from the other 3 books with dungeons, and then I guess kind of some old and D&D town.
Yeah,
and then a train.
It's getting further and further away from what's familiar.
More surreal.
Yes, more surreal.
Yeah, it's also very unexpected. And that's one of the things that I really like about this book series is that you really don't know what you're going to get next ever. And this is just a really wacky manifestation of that.
Yeah. I think that the expansion of this, I think that the last book felt very claustrophobic in a way. We're in this tunnels, in this train. Like visually, everything like just constantly felt a lot the same because it's another train station, and there's the tunnels inside the train, whatever. There wasn't a lot of variation. Now all of a sudden it's kind of like exploding back into this world. There's desert. That there's a sea area, there's a land area, there's once again a dungeon area.
Yeah.
There's variety and a different amount of space. I think that for me, I remember just feeling like, oh, I can breathe again in a way.
Yeah, in that dungeon area, we find out pretty early on that it's more of an Indiana Jones style tomb full of traps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah. It sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap everything up there. We want to say once again, thank you to all you listeners and remind you of your homework assignment for next week, which is going to be chapters 7 through the end of 12 of book 4, The Gate of the Feral Gods. Get on your reading assignment. We also want to thank our patrons who are supporting our show. That's patreon.com/hellocrawlers. Go there to make your per episode pledge and join us in this this journey. We do some deep crawls where we dive into more stuff that really covers all of the books. And that's kind of fun to do. So I think you should check it out. And we appreciate your support. We have a special tier Oh wait, let me thank our crawlers real quick.
Okay.
I want to thank our crawlers on the leaderboard. That is Christian Casanon, Gilbert Sanchez, Francisco Ortero, Aldo Necco, Adam Green, Noel Mead, Odin's Eye, and Ryan. Thank you all so much. But there's a couple that have transcended just the crawler board to become part of our Death Watch Extreme Dungeon Mayhem. These people did a bonus pledge, and that means that we get to kill them.
Oh.
We get to kill them on each episode. We have 2 crawlers this week.
I can't wait to find out what happens to the thick romancer.
Let's jump in. Our first person, Aldo Necco, is our level 24 barbarian thickromancer, and he's made it to the 5th floor. His corpse was dragged by the stiletto of a level 18 orc pimp walker down the stairwell, and he re-thickened once he got there. He made his selections and now has found himself in the dark subterranean quadrant of bubble number 3. Great. Another dungeon-looking level, he thinks. Except this one had an oddly spongy, moist floor and smelled a bit like rotted cabbage. He activated his torch spell and cautiously moved through the space. He needed to find the Fungi Sportress, which is a spore fortress. That's the castle that he has to overtake in his dungeon area. He has to somehow get the throne room there. So up ahead, as he's moving through the tunnels, he sees some other moving light of a torch. And then he hears, "Hello?" It was another group of crawlers. They approached. There's a group of them, about like 4 or 5. And one of them was really big. This person looked like they were actually a hippo. They were so big in the tight caverns, they could barely move. He says, "Hello back. Hey guys, I'm Aldo. I'm on my own." And they said, "Oh, well, you should join us," said this little dwarf as they approached. And as they were walking toward each other over this long corridor, Aldo felt relief that he wasn't going to be on his own. And then the hippo stomped onto a block, and the block sunk down with a clunk.
Oh no.
They all froze. A trap had been triggered. They all looked at each other down this hallway. And they could all see in each other's eyes they were fucked. And before they could do anything, the ceiling dropped. First popping and exploding the hippo, who was already too massive for the corridors, before crushing everyone else to their death. Goodbye, Aldo. There's Aldo's death.
It's a whole lot of setup for just a ceiling crushing him.
I would like to mention, these are not written by ChatGPT. I think you had asked that before. No, I'm writing all this terribleness myself.
No, ChatGPT has more talent.
Good. Meanwhile,
oh, good.
One more crawler, Odin's Eye, a level 29 human Chunkla Abuelita, awoke alone on the floor of a jungle in bubble number 108, the land quadrant. He sat up, his back aching. He found a flip-flop wedged under his back. Ugh. He absent-mindedly tossed away the flip-flop before realizing what mistake he had just made. It rapidly sliced through the air, chopping through multiple trees nearby and slicing them apart. Oh no. There was a moment of silence before the trees came crashing down in a thunderous cacophony.
Okay, so he's just an average Mexican grandma.
Yeah.
Because my grandma could do that. She's
Yeah.
She doesn't even have to look at you, and she just like throws her chancla and it hits you.
But the chancla can chop through shit.
Yeah, that's very James Bond.
So, no sooner did the forest resettle from the noise than he heard them. A low rumble of growls sprouted up all around him. And then he saw all the sets of red eyes appearing throughout the leaves. He was surrounded. Shit. He pulled out 2 sandals from his belt and prepared his Crocs on his feet for attack. But they were too fast. The Ursa Majors all erupted out of the jungle, these massive green bears that pounced on him with alarming speed and proceeded to tear Odin's Eye to shreds as he screamed. The end.
Well, that was short and sweet.
Yeah, that was better than the other one.
Okay.
Although we're sorry.
As long as you guys apologize for my bad writing each time, I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Once again, chapters 7 through 12 next week. We're excited to keep diving into all of these. We appreciate you guys. And be sure to get out there and read.